morning. It's McCollum on Business. I'm Stephen McCollum, and for the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to get you updated on what's happening around the business world, big developments with a certain lawsuit over there in Oakland, California for a social media company, Meta. We'll get you updates on that coming up in just a little bit. We'll look at the market watch, stocks we're paying attention to, local and national stories you need to know. And interesting enough, there seems to be a nugget craze around. We told you about Wendy's $1.99 through the app. Wendy's nuggets yesterday. Another fast food chain kind of revamping their nuggets as well and wanting you to try them. And then maybe a gross food story coming up for you. I don't think it sounds good, but maybe you do. Surrounded around Oreos. We'll talk about that as well later in the show. But first, big things to talk about. Let's get into it with the Market Watch. We did get the PCE report today, the Producer Price Index. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. NVIDIA does report today after the bell, so that's what everybody's kind of paying attention to. Also, well, right now the Dow Jones is up 14 points to 53,585. The S&P 500 is up to 9 points. 76.86 right now. The Nasdaq's up 8 points as well to 26,160. And it's just going to kind of just hover today while they're waiting for NVIDIA. And by the way, NVIDIA is going to have good reporting. The question is it going to meet expectations or exceed expectations is probably more important for NVIDIA today. Russell 2K is up 5 points right now to 3,015. Bitcoin, well, it's basically flat today, but it's still in that 78,526,000 range that it's been at here since that rally began middle of next week, end of last week as well. So Bitcoin kind of just hovering here in the 78,000 level right now. Stocks you're paying attention to here, Intuit's the first one we're going to look at. QuickBooks, TurboTax, a bunch of other softwares out there. Well, they're down 3.46% right now. They said their guidance for fiscal year 2027, well, it disappointed the market out there. Intuit expects revenues to be between $23.27 billion all the way up to $23.51 billion in this year. By the way, this is the current quarter starting of their 2027 number here. Right now, we're in the first quarter there. The analysts were expecting $23.7 billion, so they've already lowered their guidance below the expectation level, and for the whole year. And the year's just starting, folks. Yeah, that's not a good sign. Earnings and revenue for the company's fiscal fourth quarter did beat estimates. It's just their future guidance is the issue. 2.69% down based off of that news for Intuit out there. And then Zoom Communications, the next one we're going to look at. They're down today as well, 5.51% down right now. Well, they fell short of analysts' expectations for the third quarter. They said they expected their earnings per share to range from $1.46 to $1.48 per share. Well, estimates out there, and everybody wanted to see $1.50 per share on average. So missing their number as well. Zoom Communications down 5.51%. And then finally, we're going to look at Meta here as well. Well, Meta is up today. Well, they were up today. Let me rephrase that here. About an hour ago, we got the word of a settlement in that lawsuit in California, and that's going to be our lead story coming up here. So it's flipped on us. They're down 0.18% right now for Meta platforms. So basically, Meta and those, the California State Attorney General was leading that charge there with 14 states, ultimately 29 with all the charges. States were suing Meta for the addiction and protection of kids, things that were going on up there in Oakland, California. There has been a settlement today. And so the claim was Meta deliberately made applications geared to get teenagers addicted to their software. Trial began last week. It's in the second week of it here. And interesting enough, Instagram's head was on there. The head of Instagram was on trial yesterday, said some things, and then boom, settlement today. So Meta obviously felt like it wasn't going well for them out there. Before I get you more updates on this story here, as you saw, it just went positive here for just a second. When we come back later, we're going to look at Boston Scientific, Kohl's, that retailer, as well as J.M. Smucker, right? jams, etc. We're going to look at those stocks as well coming up. But let's get into that Meta story here and get you updated because it's a doozy. And even though there's a settlement, Meta is paying out a large sum of money and big changes coming to Facebook and Instagram as well. So we just got done telling you, right? Meta and that state attorneys general settled that major federal lawsuit out there about, child-related mental health is what I'll say on that, getting kids addicted to Facebook and Instagram. So it was revealed in a court filing released early this morning, the settlement was. Now, several requirements Meta is going to have to do to its apps as part of this proposed consent judgment that these companies have settled into. Now, it still needs to be approved by a judge, etc. It will be. I'm pretty sure it will be. But the framework is there and what they expect them to do. Meta, they're going to have to set daily usage limits and nighttime blocks for teenagers that use the apps. So this is, like I said, Facebook and Instagram, folks, nighttime restrictions for them. They're going to have enhanced age assurance measures that would basically prevent children from using the apps without parental approval as well. And then they're going to have to make additional tools for parents and guardians to be able to set limits, set other things on, watching what happens to their kids here on these platforms and allowing the parents to allow when the kids can be on them. So those changes are coming to the apps as part of this settlement. But more importantly, Meta agreed to pay $16.7 billion. Yeah. Now, remember, if they would have lost this trial, it could have been up to over $1 trillion the states were asking for. $1 trillion. So $16.7 billion seems like a bargain in the meantime, correct? Now, the state of California is going to receive $1.5 billion, a range of $1.5 to $2.1 billion if this gets approved for them. Now, keep in mind, California's Attorney General, Rob Bonta, is the one that was kind of spearheading this lawsuit with all the states. The settlement comes, right in the middle of the second week of the trial. The Instagram chief, he was up on the stands yesterday. He testified that he doesn't direct employees to withhold certain child safety and product information from him, in order for him to be kind of covered and mislead the public. He said he said it wasn't one of those things where there was some allegations where he wasn't being fed information, and the allegations were you're not being fed that information, so you can claim ignorance and you can tell the public one thing, not knowing the truth behind it. He denied those claims, but a settlement here today between Meta and the state's attorney general, $16.7 billion, folks. It's a lot of money out there, but you will see some changes coming up. I don't know what the time frame is. That hasn't been reported yet, at least that I've seen. This literally was breaking as I was driving in this morning. I didn't see what the time frame would be for those changes to have to go into these softwares, et cetera, out there. In other news, the personal consumption expenditures price index came out this morning as well. This is what the Fed uses as its preferred forecasting tool, so it's an important reporting. Well, it did increase a seasonally adjusted 0.2% for the month. So the annual inflation rate, still high, folks. 3.7% is where we are at on that as of this morning. The Commerce Department gives us this reporting as well. So both were 0.1 percentage points above the Dow Jones consensus level as well. So if you want to take out if you want to look at the core PCE level, which takes out the food and energy costs because of how volatile they are, core PCE posted a little bit of a gain, 0.2% and 3.3% levels for those. That is in line with forecasts. So the Fed considers both measures when they look at, what to do with what the economy's doing while they're deciding on what to do with interest rates as well. Now, but policymakers see core inflation. They look at that and they view that as the better measure of longer-term trends out there. So the report here this morning, the PCE report showed personal income did rise 0.4%, and then spending increased 0.2% as well. Interesting enough, both stronger than expected because we saw some retail reporting for July. Not good numbers there, but these were stronger here in this reporting. Goods prices actually declined on the month. They were down about 0.1%. Now, their reason why, 2.7% decrease in gasoline in those energy related goods out there. Now, gas prices are going back up again. I saw 477 yesterday driving around, going home and doing some other errands yesterday as well. A 0.9% drop in furnishings category. And that includes long-lasting household equipment, 0.9% drop in those numbers. If you want to look at services, well, those prices rose 0.3%, which included a 1.2% increase in financial services, and then insurance levels. What a shocker. Insurance continuing to go up, even though they fight with you to do claims now, folks. Yeah. But even housing rose 0.3% as well last month in this numbers. Now, the federal board doesn't meet this month officially here in August. This is the month where the Fed officials gather at Jackson Hole, Wyoming, up there. That's their annual symposium where the Fed chairman will speak. Kevin Warsh will speak on Friday. So no official meeting this month. It's not until September, but still important things around the Fed with this meeting, the symposium this week, with Friday being a big day for Kevin Warsh's reporting as well, or his speech that he'll give out there, which leads us into American confidence levels. Yeah. Well, no shocker. Well, your confidence in the American economy, well, it declined again this month. And it's no doubt about it. Well, Iran conflict and gasoline prices still staying elevated are the main reasons why. Well, the Confidence Board said, and they're reporting yesterday, that the Consumer Confidence Index dipped to 89.4 in August. It was at 90.2% in July, and it keeps falling here, folks. Lowest level in 7 months is what we're at right now. Right now, it was essentially within the same range that it's been since the beginning of the year. So back in 25, early 2025, late 2024, well, readings were above 100 at those times, and now we're getting down to the high 80s. Respondents' views of the present situation actually did improve. The short-term outlook, though, is what the problem is. People aren't liking the short term, with gas prices continuing to fluctuate and cause issues out there on the market. So our confidence is down, folks. Now, it's official. Canadian goods are getting a tariffs tit for tat here going on between Canada and the U.S., and Canada officially struck back on Tuesday with those retaliatory tariffs that they were threatening. Yet $20 billion worth of American goods, including steel, dairy products, appliances, and even farm equipment. Yeah. So the trade war is officially on here between the two nations. So this obviously what's happening here is a dangerous one. The world's largest trading relationships between Canada and the U.S., and it's further straining ties between the two countries as well. Close allies work together, border kind of crossings up there. Goes back and forth, and it's getting ugly out there. If this goes on for a long time, it's going to raise costs for American businesses and consumers. And obviously, there's an election coming up, a midterm elections, which is interesting because I looked into this tariff from Canada, and they did something different than they did last time. This kind of reared its head. These new tariffs, well, they're beyond the industrial goods. They actually went after everyday purchases. As I said, seafood, cheese, clothing, cosmetics, toilet paper. Yeah, some getting duties as high as 50% from Canada and then exporting it down here into America as well. Now, interesting enough, a senior Canadian official who wished to not be named, he said that Canada did not design these new measures around the U.S. electoral map. Last time, in Trump's first term when this stuff happened, the retaliatory tariffs Canada did then, well, they were crafted to hit politically sensitive products back then in an election year. For instance, they targeted U.S. yogurt that comes from Wisconsin, because back then, Paul Ryan, he was the speaker at that time. It was his home state, Wisconsin. They even went after whiskey from Kentucky, which was, at that time, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell's district and up for election as well. So they're doing it a little bit different this time. They're not targeting surrounding the elections coming up. Now, the official that did speak under anonymous conditions, he said the new tariffs were chosen primarily to match U.S. measures and put pressure on American industries and supply chains. So kind of gives state level political effects. We're a low consideration with this Canadian retaliation side of it. So, look, we're going to see where we go on this. It's eventually going to get settled. And the U.S. can put a lot of pressure on Canada, so it's going to be interesting to see, how we go, and it'll get settled. It's a matter of when and how much damage is done between the two countries, is what we are going to be looking at out there. And then heads up here on Uber for those of you with teens that have to use Ubers from time to time. I'm one of those out there, and they have those teen accounts, which I'm familiar with and utilize. But Uber's making out several new features coming, and not all of them are here in Arizona yet, but they could be coming. But these new features are designed to make it easier for families to manage rides. So a new family profile is going to be coming that allows parents and guardians to arrange and even monitor the trips for your teenagers. So Uber announced these updates early this morning. They include expanded features for its teen accounts. Those are available to parents of children's age 13 to 17. I have one of those, and it's actually kind of neat how they do it. I can track everything and back and forth and see them where they are on the ride and things to that effect. If you record it, though, you don't get any of that information. That change could be coming. So through the new family profile, parents and guardians can request rides for their teens, which you can already do. You can already pay for the trips right now, and you can monitor the journeys as well so my app will show where they are on the ride, etc. Right, things. Now you can use the safety features, which include audio recording, so you can get that. The problem is when the ride's done, it's not on my phone anymore. It's on the teenager's phone at that point. But then also we can directly communicate, with the not just the teenager, but the driver can obviously overhear those conversations as well. And you only get highly rated drivers as well that are able to transport the teens. Uber said they're introducing some new features, including live streaming feature that's going to allow parents and guardians to view a ride through the driver's selfie camera. Yeah, once a trip begins, the linked parent or guardian account will receive a notification if the video stream is available. And if you choose to watch, both the driver and the teen will be notified that you are watching them in the deal. Now, only a parent or guardian whose account is linked to the teen account can access the live stream. There's no other way for other passengers traveling with the teen to opt out of appearing on camera. So if you do a ride share, a share one, it's limited at that point. The video, though, goes away right away once the ride ends. So the driver, teen, or parents or guardians, well, you cannot view it afterwards. It's only while it's going on. So the Uber does say the video is encrypted. The company, though, it hasn't given us information whether it's end-to-end encrypted, which means Uber itself wouldn't be able to access the recording. Like, do they save it on their servers? Questions that you have, right? And have to pay attention to. Now, other things they're doing, family profiles will launch in more than 24 cities across the U.S. and Canada. Not here in Arizona yet, but New York City, Atlanta, Dallas, and Houston are cities that are doing this. Uber said additional markets will receive the feature in the coming weeks and months. They didn't specify what cities or when. Phoenix probably will be an early one on this. It's just a matter of when it's coming. The company said it developed its teen accounts with help from Safe Kids Worldwide. That's a nonprofit focused on preventing childhood injuries and things to that effect. Uber also is going to be coming out with a feature called Uber Car Seat. You ever get caught out without a car seat for your child? Right? Well, it's coming to riders in New York and Los Angeles first. Parents will be able to request rides equipped with a Nuna Rava car seat. That's designed for children weighing between 5 and 65 pounds. Then Uber's also introducing group rides in select cities. The feature will allow riders to invite other passengers to join a trip, and the app coordinating each pickup and automatically charging each passenger their share of the fare. That's kind of a neat feature as well. So if instead of putting in different stops and picking people up, you just tell them to join you. Yeah, that's actually a neat feature for if you're meeting a bunch of people. And then if you have difficulty using a smartphone, Uber's launching a phone-based option, right? There's a lot of elderly people that obviously, struggle to use phones or don't like to use phones. Well, this is a neat little feature for them. You can call a number, 888 use Uber is what it is. To arrange a trip without using the actual app there on Uber. So just some changes, but the teen one I wanted to make y'all aware of out there as well. And it's because it's a crazy world out there, folks. Yeah. Well, what are you spending your money on? Well, credit card debt is high right now. Cost of living is even higher. And interesting enough, we're seeing all the reporting. Americans are still spending money, and they're still spending them on things for no other reason than bringing you joy and making you happy. Yeah. But you do get some guilt afterwards, according to this survey. 6% of Americans who did this survey feel they're overspending on things that make them happy. 72% in this reporting say they feel guilty when those purchases compete with other financial goals, right? So you buy something, and all of a sudden your car payment's due. You feel guilty buying that other thing as well, right? As a YouGov survey, more than 5,000 U.S. adults were involved in this. And this is Ali Bank's inaugural Cost of Life Today report. Yeah, was shared exclusively with USA Today, and it's since been out to other entities. But this, buying something and then feeling guilty when another bill comes due, that helps explain why the average U.S. adult scored 54.2 out of 100 on Ali's new Joy Index. Yeah, so you're now put into a joy-pressured category is where we're at right now. So financial pressure is making joy harder to access and even sustain. The survey found 77% of consumers reduce, delay, or avoid spending on joy at least occasionally. Of respondents, 20% said it's easy to cover essential expenses. And although most reported spending on joyful experiences each month, only 15% said they're easy to afford at that time. So the give and flow. And it could just be as a nice dinner out, that could be a joyous thing. Not extremely expensive, but when things are tight, then you get home and you go, oh, next day, oh, my car payment's due, my credit card payment's due. Feeling guilty on that backside here in this economy. And folks, lots of reporting here today on the economy and big news out there on that Meta story. So we'll take our break here. Come on back here at McCollum on Business, get into a local story, then get you set up here with some joyful things. Food. Another fast food restaurant making changes to its chicken nuggets and Oreo something. If you're an Oreo fan, I don't even know if you're going to enjoy this. We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out if you like this. Come on back, folks. McCollum on Business. Here, McCollum on Business, Wednesday edition. It's 7 a.m. And folks, we're glad you're joining us here live on YouTube, 7 a.m. TME Media AZ is where you can find us live, and we go right into the main event from 8 to 10 a.m. as well. Here live on YouTube. If you can't catch us live there, Well, you can catch us on demand on that YouTube channel, TME Media AZ, or on your favorite podcast system, at least for the main event. This show not on the podcast systems as of yet, but the main event is there. Just search the main event or TME Sports Show on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, Podbean, Podchaser. Anywhere you catch an audio podcast, you can catch our programming as well there. Don't forget to follow TME Media AZ on X as well. It's our parent company, kind of tells you what's happening, does promotion stuff, and lets you know what we do around here. And it'd be great to have you come and join us as well if you have an idea for a show or you want to get into one. Had a meeting yesterday with someone who wants to come on board and just do a monthly thing, and looking forward to getting started working with them as well out there. We do produce shows for other entities out there, like we do the John Holmberg Sports Thing, that sports podcast. We produce that here. That goes out on Hubbard Radio, his company for where he works for the morning sickness over there. So we do other entities and other shows as well, produced to go out there that doesn't go out in our formats. We'd love to work with you guys as well. And don't forget, and not only is all of our programming, including the pit stop, all of our programming except for one show are all here on YouTube. Then you've got everything over on Rumble as well, including exclusively The Real Matrix. The Dr. Fauci episode part 2 came out last Friday at noon. New episode coming out this Friday at noon. To be honest with you, I don't know what this Friday's episode's about. Haven't looked into that yet, but this Friday at noon, The Real Matrix, exclusive to Rumble, rumble.com/user/TME Media is where you can find it over there. Or if you get over there, just search The Real Matrix. But all of our programming's there for those of you that don't like YouTube. And, of course, The Real Matrix also on the podcasting system. Just search The Real Matrix. Angry Patriot on your favorite YouTube system or your favorite podcast system. It'll come right up for you there. No social media for that show, anything but social media for the Pit Stop. The Pit Stop Talk is where you can find that on X. And, of course, there on YouTube or over on Rumble, free podcasting system. New episode as we're getting closer to the chase, coming your way tomorrow on Thursday this week. So check that out on demand on YouTube or over on Rumble or your podcasting systems. All that being said, man, let's get right back into the Market Watch. And I said that way when I said, let's get back into it, man, because look at this. Negative nilly here on the market as it's kind of turned on us here. Obviously, PCE report showing sticky inflation. 3.7% inflation level is what we saw today with that PCE reporting. Everybody's waiting for NVIDIA to do their earnings coming up after the bell today. Dow Jones right now 122 points down. The S&P 500 is down to 7 points. NASDAQ's down 99 points right now for the NASDAQ. The Russell 2K is down the 2 points right now as well. Even Bitcoin's gotten worse as the day's gone on. It was basically even earlier when we looked at it. Now it's down 310 points to 78,245 for Bitcoin here this morning. So we've seen a negative trend here as the day has gone on here on the market. Stocks we're paying attention to right now, we'll have to see what these stocks have done since I put it together about 20 minutes before showtime. Boston Scientific is the first stock we are going to look at. They're a medical devices manufacturer. They're down 4.75% today. They reported the SEC. They reported to the SEC, I should say, that a cybersecurity incident is expected to cause disruptions and even limit access to their products while they get the issue resolved. A timeline for restoration of affected products is unknown, according to the company. Obviously, cutting down services, a big cybersecurity effect means money is going to be spent. Well, Boston Scientific Corporation down 4.75% today as well. And interesting enough, medical devices manufacturer, they didn't go into too many details on products, what's happened with those products. So we're still waiting for those details to come out as well. Then we'll look at the retailer out there, Kohl's. We paid attention to Kohl's over the last couple years, right? They had an aging customer base. They were trying to become more modern with Sephora in their stores, and more clothes for younger people would attract to them. And they actually started turning it around. They've had some good quarters lately as well. We haven't looked at them in a little bit. because the turnaround was looking good. Well, they're down 0.74% here today. Kohl's Corporation is. Well, now it's reported that comparable sales for Kohl's stores fell 0.9% in the second quarter. Everybody was expecting a slide of 0.6%, the worst slide on comparable sales than expectations. They did revise its guidance higher for their full year outlook, however. Now, partly, well, because the $150 million in tariff refunds they received during the second quarter. Obviously, you get $150 million pumped back into your company, you're going to have better numbers, and that's why they hiked their outlook out there as well. They also, Kohl's said they were going to restart share buybacks of up to $100 million here. Remaining 2026 is when they're going to do that. Kohl's Corporation down 0.88% right now with all of that information as we are looking at it now. Now, let's talk some jelly out there. I know they do other things. They do Uncrustable sandwiches and Cafe Bustelo, let alone the jelly and jams. Well, they're up 2.54%. JM Smucker is so far today. They posted for their fiscal first quarter results. Revenue of $2.22 billion. Well, came in pretty hefty above the expectation level of $2.13 billion. They also reported adjusted earnings per share of $3.24. Yeah. So big numbers for JM Smuckers here as well. And Uncrustables get a big boost this time of year if you didn't know. I don't know how big of a boost it gets, but the NFL and football players eat Uncrustables in ungodly amounts this time of year. Kind of like the replenishment and protein bunch that they get there. And so sales, sales up with football season going. Now let's get into one local story, and then we got a couple food stories coming your way. You want to stay tuned for these, folks. University of Arizona College of Medicine up here in Phoenix. The Phoenix version of it, well, it's going to open the nation's first MD granting medical school on tribal land coming up in 2027. Yes. So they're collaborating. University of Arizona is collaborating with Gila River Indian Community and its Gila River Healthcare to open a branch on the health systems campus in Sacaton, Arizona. That's, if you don't know where that is, it's about 40 miles south of town here on the Gila River thing. So think like you're going to Casa Grande or Tucson. It's when you leave Ray Road and the Riggs and stuff. That's the Gila River right there with those, I hate to say it, those casinos are down there. This will be the first campus on tribal land of an allotropic or MD medical school in the nation coming your way. Now, interesting enough, there is an osteopathic school within the Cherokee Nation over in Oklahoma, but that's a doctor of orthopedic medicine. That's a DO school, so not an MD school. That's the difference there as well between it. But opening up down there, just south of town on that Gila River tribe coming up here as well. And which I find it interesting, right? Instead of having these University of Arizona medical buildings in downtown Phoenix, right, and then Tucson, put them in between the two. That way you can kind of meet in the middle out there as well. Okay. Now, brace yourself here, folks. If you're driving into work, if you're, just thinking you're hungry, I'm going to give you the food story that is weird right off the bat. So if you like food, if you like weird food, if you like fast food weirdness and grossness, different things, well, you'll want to pay attention here as well because KFC and Nabisco have gotten together. Doesn't that just sound like a natural corroboration as well? Yeah. They revealed their fried chicken flavored Oreo cookies. Yeah. They did this in China, folks. Look at this. Hey, feed your enemies KFC and Nabisco Oreo sandwiches, I guess, right? Yeah, the companies have reversed the fusion to create the Oreo original recipe chicken burger now. Yeah. This was revealed by KFC China, and it looks every bit as strange as it looks and probably tastes out there. So as you can see it on your screen, if you can look at this now, it starts off, just normal. It's got a fried chicken patty with lettuce. Then it's topped with brown mashed potatoes dusted in cookie crumbles and placed between two Oreo cookie flavored buns. Yeah, those are Oreo flavored buns, folks. Bread. Yeah. I I'm grossed out by this. But are you? The lettuce. Ironically enough, the thing that bothers me most about this sandwich is the lettuce. Why is the lettuce on there? That seems like that's the weird thing on this, in my opinion, as well. Are you grossed out by this? Are you intrigued by it? I have no desire to eat this thing or have it anywhere near me as well. Yeah. Here's the problem, though, right? It's over in China. It's not coming to America anytime soon. So your next trip to China, there you go. You can try this out. Now, it's only in China, so even the surrounding markets aren't there as well. So yeah. Now, not the first thing that the folks at Nabisco has come up with, right? They've had things like Post Malone Oreos that featured swirled salty caramel and shortbread flavored cream squeeze between one golden and one chocolate Oreo wafer cookie. When I think of Post Malone Oreos, I think of smells like cigarette smokes and non-showers, but that's what I think about Post Malone. They had the Mario Oreos as well that they came out with. Yeah. They even did the Ritz Oreo at one point, and now in China, at least, not here in America, but in China as well. So, Anne says on the YouTube chat, Daphne says that looks disgusting. Yeah, and she says she agrees with her. No, thank you, Daphne. Being her daughter. Hey, Daphne, how you doing? Long time no see. Autumn says thoroughly disgusting as well. I know, doesn't that? And like I said, I have a problem with the whole thing, but the lettuce just seems like it doesn't belong on that thing at all. So that's left to China. We'll leave that unholiness over to China and everything. But we talked about yesterday, $1.99 chicken nuggets at Wendy's through their app with the purchase of something else. Hopefully, through September 27th, I think is what it was, but through the middle of September at least. So get on that. But now, Burger King's getting in on this as well, right? We know Burger King improved its Whopper. We told you about that here at McCollum on Business a few weeks ago. But now they're upgrading their chicken nuggets as well. So September 1st is the date here. Burger King will start serving the new chicken nuggets made with 100% white meat chicken, crispier golden breading, and an enhanced marinade for a juicier bite. Burger King put this out in a big press release yesterday. They're going to be served in a box now, rather than that bag that they used to come into. And they say that's going to be a better experience. Yeah, they're not going to fall over the bottom of my bag that I have to dig them out of. The box I can open when I want it. Yeah. So they're upgrading their food, right? Back in February, they did the Whopper sandwich as well. And at that time, they took suggestions from customers who had called or texted Burger King to tell them what was wrong with the Whopper. And that resulted in the sandwich being served on a better bun, better tasting mayo, and also in a box. So customer things, right? And now here with these nuggets, customer suggestions led to these new nuggets as well. The chicken nuggets were declared by customers as the old ones, the ones currently there, rubbery, dry. Even some people called in and said they're disappointing. Burger King took all that into account, thousands of texts, calls, and comments to come out with these new changes here for the nuggets coming your way and things to that effect. Ethan says, it looks like McDonald's and Wendy's nuggets. Well, that's the thing, right? That was annoying. They brought them in those bags, and you'd pick the bag up upside down, and it'd spill over the bottom. And then you're driving down the road with your knee trying to dig them out of the bag. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So Burger King, September 1st as well. Why is there lettuce on that Oreo burger or chicken thing? Why is there lettuce on there? Folks, I appreciate you joining me here on McCollum on Business here on this Wednesday morning. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. tomorrow. We roll right into the main event today. Coach Sheehan from Scottsdale Christian Academy joins me at 9 o'clock. Dale Hillister is off for the next 3 days. He's doing some NFL fun stuff up there in Las Vegas from his 17-year playing career. So I've got to mention when I say his name, contractually obligated. But I'll get you going here with Coach Sheehan coming up at 9 o'clock. I'll be live 8 to 10. So come and join me here on YouTube or catch all of our programming on YouTube or over on Rumble. We'll see you there, folks. Have a great afternoon.